This video is on Unit 6, Chapter 12, Exponential and Log Functions, Lesson number 2, Properties of Logs. In this first section, under Product Property, we've got log base b of m times n is equal to log base b of m plus log base b of n. So what you need to understand here is that your rules of exponents are going to be the same as your rules of logs, because logs are another way of writing exponents. Multiplication and addition go hand in hand. If we are multiplying, we add exponents. And if you're multiplying, you're adding logs. So in examples 1 through 3, it's asking us to condense into a single logarithm, simplify if possible. So condensing logs is a skill necessary to solve these logarithmic equations that we're going to get to later on in this chapter. So you have to be able to look at these and condense. In example number 1, it says log base 2 of 7 plus log base 2 of 4. So right now it's 2. I'm going to make it 1 log. The log is going to keep the base. But what you do with the 7 and the 4 is determined by what's between. So because there's a plus, I need to multiply 7 times 4 and get 28. And that's how we condense from 2 logs to 1. In number 2, log of 25 is equal to plus log of 4, plus log of 4. We're again going to condense. The log stays the same. We don't change the log or the base. But because there's a plus in the middle, we're going to multiply, and 25 times 4 is 100. It does say simplify if possible. Now, number 1, it was not possible to simplify. 2 to no power is 28. But on this one, 10, because the understood base is 10. This is a common log. 10 to the second power would be 100. So if we were going to evaluate this, it would be 2. But we're not evaluating. We're just condensing and simplifying. Let's jump down to expand. For 4, 5, and 6, we're going to expand using this property. So what I want to do is I want to take log of 6 and make it 2. So log of something plus log of something. Again, it's all about multiplication. So give me 2 numbers that multiply equals 6. There's a couple of different options. You could use 6 and 1. I'm going to use 2 and 3. Number 5, log base 7 of 45. Again, we're going to expand this into 2. 2 numbers that multiply to give us 45. I'm going to use the 5 and the 9. So that's how we expand. It's still using that property. For your quotient property, if you've got log base b of m divided by n, this is going to involve subtraction. And kind of like your product property, this follows right along with those rules of exponents. If we are dividing exponents, we subtract those exponents. And logs are the same. If you've got division...
Teachers, pardon this interruption. There is a bus change for this afternoon. Bus 123, that is bus 123. You will be riding bus 44 today. Bus 123 will be riding bus 44 this afternoon, and you'll load at 2:45. That's what bus 123 will ride bus 44 today. Thank you.
All right, for quotient property, if you've got log base b of m divided by n, if you think about your rules of exponents, where you've got division, we subtract exponents, and we're going to do the same thing with logs. So this is going to turn into log base b of m minus log base b of n. So in this first set of examples, 7, 8, and 9, we're going to condense. So we're taking 2, we're going to make them 1 log, and then simplify if possible. So log base 3 of 24 minus log base 3 of 8. Again, the log and the base do not change. And there's a minus between, so we know we need to divide the 24 by the 8. And 24 divided by 8 is 3. So we end up log base 3 of 3. Same thing's going to happen on number 8, log base 2 of 15 minus log base 2 of 15. You're going to divide 15 divided by 15 is 1. On number 9, let's look at number 9 real quick. Log base 4 of x to the 9th minus log base 4 of x to the 2nd. Again, the log and base do not change. But how do I divide here? If I have x to the 9th power and I divide by x squared, what do I do with those exponents? Well, I'm going to have to subtract. X to the 7th power would be your answer for number 9. And in 10, 11, and 12, we're going to do the opposite of that. We're going to expand using the quotient property. So log base 8 of 4. What I want to do is I want to expand this using the quotient property. So there's going to be subtraction. So two numbers that divide to equal 4. Again, there's lots of options. I might use 8 and 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. On number 11, I might have, there's always lots of different answers here. So you may be thinking of something that I'm not writing. I need two numbers that divide to give me 1/3. And you could use 1 and 3. I'm going to use 15 and 45. 15 divided by 45 is 1/3. All right, let's jump down to our power property. So when you have a power or an exponent that's raised to another exponent, what we do is multiply those exponents. So your power property is going to follow right along with that. You've got a log that's raised to a power. So to rewrite this, it's going to be n times log base b of n. So your power becomes a product. So number 13, 14, and 15 condense into a single log. 5 times log base 4 of 2 becomes log base 4 of 2 to the 5th power. And 2 to the 5th power is 32. Log base 4 of 32 is how we would condense that log. The same thing is going to happen on number 14. You're going to move the 7. Basically, the product becomes the power. So log base 2 of x to the 7th, and there's no way for me to reduce that any further. Number 15 would be log of 8 to the 1/3 power. Now, you've got to think about what that means. A 1/3 power is the cube root. So another way of writing 8 to the 1/3 power is the cube root of 8, which is 2. So this becomes log of 2. And then for expanding, number 16, the exponent just becomes the product. So we get 7 times log base 2 of 8, and that's all we have to do to expand this. Number 17 is a little different because you have a product out front anyway already, and then you have this x minus 1 that we are going to also become part of the product. So you would have 3 times the x minus 1 in front of our log, which would be 3x minus 3 times that log of 4. All right, let's move on to the next page here. Putting it all together, the directions say rewrite as a single logarithm, simplify if possible. So looking at number 19, there's a lot of things going on. I see the minus in between, which means there's division. And I also see the 2 in front of the log of 6. So what I'm going to do first, exponents become that first step in order of operations. So we need to make sure we take care of those first. And that's exactly what that is. That product is actually an exponent. So 6 squared is 36. And I started writing that first. So log of 36 minus log of 9. Now I can condense this into one log. through division. And I'm dividing because there's a minus between. So 36 divided by 9 is 4. So all of that condenses to log of 4. Let's look at number 22. Number 22 involves addition and subtraction. So with something like this, you want to make sure you're following that rule of left to right. So we're going to take care of these first two, log base 2 of 15 plus log base 2 of 4. In order to condense those two, we are going to multiply 15 times 4, and 15 times 4 is 60. And then from here, I can condense even further. Now there's a minus between, which means I need to divide the 60 by the 6. 60 divided by 6 is 10. So we get log base 2 of 10. All right, let's look at number 24. Number 24 says 1/3 times the log base 5 of 8 plus log base 5 of 27 minus log base 5 of 3. So what I would do first here is I would combine the two logs inside. So following those order of operations that we learned so long ago, you want to start inside the parentheses. So inside the parentheses, I'm going to combine or condense through multiplication. So I want to multiply the 8 times 27, and 8 times 27 is 216. From there, I'm going to move the 1/3. So my product is going to become my exponent. And I get log base 5 of 216 to the 1/3 power minus log base 5 of 3. Now, 216 to the 1/3 power is the same thing as the cube root of 216. The cube root of 216, which is 6. So that all becomes 6. Log base 5 of 6 minus log base 5 of 3. And now I can condense this into one log by dividing 6 by 3. And my final answer, 6 divided by 3 is 2. I get log base 5 of 2. Let's look at number 26. To start this, there are no parentheses, but I want to look for some exponents. My exponents are here and here. And right now they don't look like exponents, but that's exactly what they are. So log of 6 squared, because the 2 becomes that exponent, right? So I have log of 36 minus 16 to the 1/4 power. Again, it's a fraction. So 4th root of 16. The 4th root of 16 is 2. So log of 2 plus log of 3. So left to right, I'm going to divide first. So the minus tells me to divide 36 by 2, which is 18. And then from here, we want to multiply the 18 times the 3 and get log of 54. For expand, I'm going to go through a couple of these. Number 27, for example, says log base 6 of x, y, z to the 4th. So that's all multiplication. That's x times y times z to the 4th. So I'm going to use addition to separate each of those variables. Now, there's one other thing that we need to take care of, and it's the exponent. We're going to change that 4 to the product. Now, when you're expanding, it's all about knowing those rules inside and outside. Let's look at number 30, for example. I see division on number 30, which means I'm going to have subtraction. But I also have this exponent. I'm going to rewrite that distributing the 2 inside that parentheses would be y squared over z to the 10th. So that's going to allow me to expand this a little bit easier. Log base 2 of y squared minus log base 2 of z to the 10th power. And then I need to move those exponents out to a product. So 2 times log base 2 of y minus 10 times log base 2 of z. All right, so that's expanding. We'll work more on that as we get into the assignment. But there is your video for Chapter 12, Lesson 2 on properties of logs.